Hey guys, you want to know what to expect in a Texas licensed home child care or registered home care fire inspection? Well, stick around and we're going to talk all about it. All right, guys, this is what to expect whenever you have your fire inspection with the city fire marshal. Now, keep in mind, even though it's for the state of Texas, every county is different. So my county and my city, I'm in Universal City, which is right on the edge of San Antonio. My fire marshal could be completely different than the fire marshal that's in San Antonio. So you want to get with your fire marshal. You want to call them. Don't just go by what your girlfriend's telling you and your cousin's telling you, oh, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. Because if the city ever does find out that you're operating a center or a home daycare and they have not conducted their proper inspections, you can receive a fine. Now, obviously, they're going to try to work with you, but really it just depends on who's going to come out and conduct that inspection. So it's very important right now for you to understand that situation. So one of the things that happens when you come in, and actually I'm going to be moving with you guys today, so we're going to work on just getting out of the light. So one of the things they're going to look for is they're going to want to look for making sure that you have a smoke detector in every area that the kids are going to be in. So if the kids are going to be in the kitchen, if the kids are going to be the bathrooms, just all the different areas. Now, again, this is just for my city, my county, and you have to have it. And they're going to actually come in and they're going to test it. So they're going to come in, he's going to actually push it, and he's going to want to make sure that he can hear that. Now, I actually bought that one from Home Depot and installed it. Even though I have another one, when I came into this house, they only had one in this living room area for the kitchen area as well. So I went ahead and bought another one because it's always best to have more than enough than to have not enough at all. And then you also have to have carbon monoxide. Now, some people will tell you to put it further to the ground, and some people will tell you to put it up here. But really, you can ask your fire marshal when you come, and when he comes to look at the your space. Last but not least is you have to have a fire extinguisher, and I'm going to go over a different video that explains the fire extinguisher. But not only do you have to have that, it has to be inspected by the proper people. So you're going to have a tag. So every year, even if I don't use this, I have to go take it to the fireplace, and I have to make sure it is being used. And so this is my fire inspection when they came, and so I'm going to read over it so that you can get an idea of all the things that they are looking for. All right, so with my inspection list for my county with my fire marshal, some of the things that are on there I'm going to point out is they're going to look at your general housekeeper, and they're going to make sure that you don't have any cords sticking out, that you have all the outlet covers covered, safety covers for the children. They're going to make sure that storage maintained 24 inches below ceiling or 18 inches below sprinkler head, which you don't have to worry about right here. We don't have to have a sprinkler system, but believe it or not, some counties in the state of Texas do require you to have a sprinkler system in your home. So comment below if that applies to you or if it applies to you in your state. If we go further down, it says emergency planning. You have to have a fire evacuation plan, contacts, fire safety plans, fire drill records, time, and record keeping. So when they see your fire drill and you're doing a fire drill, so we have our checklist under here when we do our fire drills. They're going to know how long it took for you to get out. So all of that is documented on there, as well as our severe weather. And then we have our fire evacuation plan. Make sure you check out the video that I made on how to create a fire evacuation plan and all the things that I have inside of that fire evacuation plan. Another thing that they're talking about, which I said earlier, they're going to make sure any electric wiring is not sticking out or anywhere. Portable, if you have gas in your home, they're going to want to look and see into that as well. When they go through your garage and they go through all your exits, they're going to make sure that none of it is blocked. So make sure, because a lot of home care, child care providers may get a write-out for sitting trash outside the door. It has to be clear. You have to make sure that it is always clear and that nothing is there. And they call it egress. So that's what they call it, egress, making sure that it is not blocked. And then, like I said before, you have to have at least 2 exits for a home with the fire marshal where I am. And one is our back door, and we use one as our front door. And then we also use our garage, and it cannot be a window. A lot of people say, well, can you operate a home child care upstairs? In the state of Texas, at least for our county, our minimum standards doesn't prohibit. So with child care licensing, the minimum standards does not prohibit having a home child care upstairs. However, fire marshal, if they do decide allow you to have a home child care on the second floor, you will have to have like a ladder outside or something to get all the children out safely. You have to have a fire extinguisher upstairs. So it's like different things that you have to have. And rarely will you see a child care licensing inspector that will be on board with that. Basically, they want to make sure that there's no way, as one child care provider, if there's a fire upstairs and you're on the second floor and you have to get the children out, you're going to end up being out of regulations. And what I mean is, how do you get 12 children or 2 children? Let's go with 2. How do you get one child out of the window and down the ladder without the other child? So the moment you leave one child, you are now at a ratio, and that's a write-up. So when they ask you for your plan and everything, and I'm talking about they meaning licensing, your plan is not going to make sense for them. So rarely are you going to ever find an inspector who's going to really want to touch a child care home being on the second level. They're going to strongly encourage you to do the main floor. But if for whatever reason your fire inspector allows it and you put everything in place, again, our minimum standards does not say that you cannot have it on the second floor. It's just no one really wants to see children on the second floor. So when your license inspector comes, she or he, they're going to go hard. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to give you scenarios. They're going to want to see you act it out. And if you stumble a little bit, they're going to say, no, this is not acceptable. Move it downstairs or we're not going to be able to give you a license. And again, every county is different. So if you're in the state of Texas and you're on the second floor and your inspector and fire inspector, everybody was on the same page and great. But I've been doing this so long and training for so long in this area that rarely do you see it happen. That is a quick overview of fire. And again, it's different for every county, it's different for every city, and it's totally different for every state. So do not take this as a grain of salt. This is just something to share my experience, just to give you a little idea of what to expect with fire inspections. Question of the day: have you ever had a fire inspection for your home? How did it go? Let me know what they required that maybe I didn't mention. Comment below. Let us know. Remember, engage. This is an amazing community. We're all here just to learn from each other. I do not know everything, so I love hearing from you guys. As always, it is a wonderful day to be alive at Alive Learning Academy. Make sure you like the video, share this video, but of course, learn from the video. See you next time.